You're going to see claims everywhere that detailing makes $900,000 a year, $300,000 a year, $100,000 a month. And honestly, some of those are real, but most are the gross revenue of an outlier business with 20 employees or a cherry-picked single day extrapolated out to the best possible outcome. What a car detailing business actually makes depends on what stage you're at. So whether it's solo or one helper or multi-employee, the gross and the net look very different at each stage. Now, real quick, a note on who I am because it matters when a stranger is giving you business advice on the internet. My name is Chris M. Walker. I've started and built multiple successful businesses from nothing. I'm talking me and a computer. No investors, no funding, no job to fall back on, just me. I also run a platform that thousands of local service businesses use to grow. I'm talking things like detailing shops, cleaning companies, landscapers, all kinds of trades. So because of that, I get the privilege to watch what works and watch what doesn't. So that's why I'm able to bring you videos like this to kind of share those insights with you. And one other quick thing I should note is that I've never run a car detailing business, and I'm not going to pretend that I have. So the numbers in this video come from real detailing business owners and real industry data, and I'm going to put the sources on the screen so you can go check my work to make sure that I'm legit. Look, the median wage for car detailers is around $35,000 a year. That number is for detailers paid as employees, not as owners. It's what you'd make if you were working at somebody else's shop. If you're going to be an owner-operator, your earning potential is higher than that. And sometimes it's actually much higher than that, but it's not automatic, okay? The point of starting a business instead of taking a job is to break past that median. And that break only happens if you charge premium pricing and find premium customers. It doesn't happen just because you put your name on an LLC and threw up a Facebook page, okay? You have to actually go out and do the work and make it happen. But if you do everything right, the income progression looks like 3 distinct stages. And the first stage, stage 1, is a solo operator. Now, a solo detailer working full-time can realistically gross between $60,000 and $120,000 a year. And the spread is enormous there, by the way, because it depends on 3 things: how many jobs per week, the average ticket size, and how many weeks per year you actually do the work. So keep that in mind, that your income is tied to your output. And a solo detailer doing 5 jobs a week at $200 average ticket grosses about $52,000 a year. Solo detailer doing 8 jobs a week at $300 a ticket grosses about $125,000. See how moving those numbers just a little bit really compounds and affects the end number? It's significant. And the difference between those two isn't talent, it's pricing and customer mix. Now, to be clear, I assume you know this, but gross revenue is not what you keep. A solo detailer running honest numbers, including insurance, chemicals, fuel, equipment, replacement, self-employment tax, nets roughly 40 to 60% of the gross. So $52,000 gross becomes $25,000 to $30,000 in your pocket. $125,000 gross becomes $60,000 to $75,000 in your pocket. That second number is a real income, and that first one is worse than most W-2 work. The detailer doing the first set of numbers usually quits inside a year because they can't afford to live on that, and it becomes miserable. The detailer doing the second set usually grows, okay? So stage number 2 is when you get one helper. Hiring your first employee is probably the most dangerous move in a detailing business, or any business, to be honest. Doing it right, it roughly doubles your job volume. Doing it wrong eats your margin and stresses you out for a year, because let me tell you, dealing with employees can be stressful. Now, a solo detailer adding one helper at $20 to $25 an hour can roughly double weekly jobs. And if you're doing 8 a week solo, you can do 12 to 16 a week with one helper. That means your income should double, right? That means if the average ticket holds at $300 and you're doing 14 jobs a week, that's $218,000 a year gross. Sounds like a lot more money, right? But the problem is your costs also go up, especially labor, but also more chemicals, more equipment wear, higher insurance, maybe another vehicle, and the net margin drops from 40 to 60% down to roughly 25 to 35%. So that 218 gross becomes 55 to 75,000 in your pocket. And if you're paying attention, you know that that's roughly the same as the high end of a solo, with way more headaches. And this is where a lot of detailers get stuck. They're working as hard as ever and they're making the same money. I've seen that one across other businesses too. It's a real plateau in a lot of businesses that they struggle to break through. And the thing is, the math on the helper only works if you keep growing past one. You have to multiply that to really reap the returns. 2, 3, 5, that's when the model actually scales. So be patient and get through that one helper stage, and you'll get to stage 3, which is a multi-employee shop. Now, a multi-employee fixed location shop with 3 to 5 detailers can gross 4 to 800,000 a year. Okay, we're talking real money now. And the owner usually stops detailing cars at this stage and runs the business. And we're going to talk more about that in future videos. But at this stage, the net margin is typically 15 to 25%. So a $600,000 shop puts 90 to 150,000 in the owner's pocket as profit, plus the owner can take a salary as a manager, plus the business itself becomes an asset that can be sold in the future. This is the stage where car detailing turns into a real business with real equity. This is kind of, unless you go into franchising, which we're not going to talk about, this is kind of the final boss of a car detailing business. So it's also where most people stop being detailers and start running a business. And that's a legitimate choice because it's a different job than the one that you started with. So you have to be prepared to learn different skills and to deal with different challenges, but you also have to be prepared for making a lot more money.
Oh my God! Wow!
The median is around $35,000. Is the floor. That's what employees make, and as an owner, you should be aiming to break past it. Most don't because they price like the employees and chase any customer with a car. The ones who do break past it pick a customer type, charge premium prices, and grow on purpose. Solo operators who do this well make $60,000 to $75,000 take home every single year. Owners who scale to multi-employee shops can make $150,000 a year in profit, plus a salary, plus an asset they can sell in the future. So you can see why that should maybe be your final goal, depending on where you are in your life. But I think that is kind of the most appealing part of this business. But none of that happens without customers, and none of that happens specifically without the right customers. So the next video covers exactly how to get your first 10 car detailing clients, the specific moves that actually produce paying customers, and what to skip. It should be on your screen right now.